Hi everyone, this video is going to be focusing on finding limits of piecewise functions. They can be a little tricky given that you won't always have a graph with you, and so we're going to try to do this without looking at a graph. So here's our following function f, and we're going to first look at part A, which says find the limit as x approaches -5 from the left side. So remember that minus sign right there means we're coming from the left. And so the first thing we need to figure out is, well, which piece or which part of function f are we going to be looking at? And so if you notice, piecewise functions have these boundaries here. And so because we're coming from the left side, if we think about where -5 is, the left side, coming from the left side means we're coming from the negative side. So we're going to be looking at values that are smaller than -5, which means we're going to be looking at the top function here. So if I want to find the limits and as is approaching that side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use direct substitution, and let's see if that works. So if I use direct substitution, I'm going to start with this function, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in -5 in for x. And if we simplify that, I get the square root of 16, which equals 4. So this is saying that as x approaches -5 from the left side, the y values are approaching 4. So let's look at part B here. So part B says we're going to find the limit as x approaches -5, but now we're coming from the right side. So we're going to come from this direction, which means that we're looking at values that are greater than -5. So because of those bounds there, I know I need to use this piece. And so I'm going to try the same thing. You want to try direct substitution first. That's usually the easiest way. But I know this is the function that I'm going to plug it in. And so let's plug it in and see. So I'm going to plug -5 in for x on the top, and -5 in for x on the bottom. And it looks like I'm going to get -2 up top, and on the bottom it's 5 minus 25, so -20, which gives me +1/10. Okay, so again, what does that mean? That means that as x approaches -5 from the right side, the y values are approaching 1/10. And lastly, we have part C, which says we're looking for the limit as x approaches -5. Now notice there is no positive or negative exponent here by that -5, and so what that means is we have to check and see, is it approaching the same y value from the left and from the right. Well, luckily in parts A and B, we did that. So in part A, we looked at what y value it's approaching from the left, and it's approaching the 4. And in part B, we found that it's approaching a y value 1/10 from the right side. Now because they are not equal to each other, they have to be approaching to the same y value for the limit to exist. We have to say now that it does not exist for that overall limit there.